Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. So, today we're going to be talking about dietary patterns versus individual foods, which, I've just noticed that there's like a little bit of maybe confusion that I hope to clear up today. So, we're going to talk about that. So, before I get started, I'd like to talk about why I'm qualified to discuss these things. So, as many of you know, I was actually in the hospital years ago, and it was years after that that I learned about the idea of using food as medicine. So, I decided to become a health coach to, for me, it was just a gradual kind of, I had to kind of learn as I went, whether it was different resources, recipes, different things like that. So I became a health coach so that I can make that journey shorter, kind of shorten the curve for people that were interested in either overcoming a symptom or a disease or becoming the healthiest version of themselves that they can possibly be, which I definitely highly recommend. So yeah, that's why I did what I did. And along my journey, I also learned just how beneficial, all foods can be, and that we should all take advantage of all the benefits that we possibly can. So that's why I like to do what I do and share what I do with as many people as possible so that, we can take the benefits and just things that we can possibly gain from food and, not even deal with a lot of diseases that we think are kind of normal in our society that don't have to be. So, and yes, there are ways with a healthy enough lifestyle to overcome them and reverse diseases, but wouldn't it be even cooler if we didn't have them in the first place? So kind of along that, that kind of journey also, and that, the mission that I have, along along that line, I also created a course that I will post in the comments. That's just a really easy way, a self-guided course that helps you to really get to where, to change your diet and, whether you're ready to change your diet completely or add more fruits and vegetables to your routine, whatever you're ready for, so that you can ultimately get wherever you want to go with your health. So yeah, so I'll post that in the comments. So back to today, we're going to talk about the dietary pattern versus individual foods, which I think a lot of people kind of address this in a reverse way, if that makes sense. So I think that the saying is something like, don't miss the forest for the trees. So that's what we're going to talk about. And there's, a lot of people kind of get into the weeds of food, which is just another way of saying details. So it's really important to actually first decide on what dietary pattern you're going to follow, and then you can go to individual foods. I mean, a lot of people kind of do it backwards, where they think that they're going to build a routine. Sorry, I just have to fix my hair. A lot of people think they're going to build a dietary pattern with different foods. And I think that's where a lot of people get into an issue, is that, it's a lot more challenging to do that. Like, I know for me personally, that's what we used to do. Is there were different foods that we were eating and avoiding, and then we kind of tried to build a dietary pattern. And it's really interesting because if you think about it as like explaining to someone what kind of dietary pattern you follow, we couldn't really explain it, not easily at all anyway. And so that was just something that was really important. Like, there were a lot of restrictions we were doing that actually we didn't need to be doing. So it's actually a lot easier if you do it where you establish a dietary pattern that is going to help you get to your health goals, whatever that is for you. And then, go into individual foods after that. I mean, a lot of people look at certain foods or food groups, like different carbs or different things, and they say they're avoiding certain things and stuff like that, but they're not really established in any certain dietary pattern. So I think it's really important just to establish that first, again following whatever is in line with the health goals that you also want to achieve. And then from there, you can kind of tweak the individual foods, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's just something I think is really important. And that's why I included the chain link in our, in the video title for today. Just because, it's really challenging to try to, reinvent the wheel and build from scratch a dietary pattern based on foods, where there are already so many dietary patterns. There are over I think over 100 different dietary patterns that people can follow. And then, after that, you can tweak foods if you want to. From there, you don't necessarily have to, but it's already done. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel and try to, build a chain link, a chain from scratch. is what I'm trying to say. So I think that's about all I wanted to cover today. Yeah. So, and again, it was so much easier once I did that way rather than, thinking of different foods. And then there were so many restrictions I really didn't need in my diet. So, hopefully that just helps to make things easier to just have the dietary pattern down first and then go ahead and, you can tweak things and go into the weeds a little bit if you want to do that. So, I'm on different social platforms. So if you want to reach out to me, I individually, or you can join a group. Our One Simple Change with the Longs Facebook group is one I definitely recommend you join. I will post that link down below as well in the comments. And so you can, go ahead and check that out. And we share lots of resources and recipes, all kinds of things. So I definitely recommend that you join that. And then, like I said, you can post on there and ask questions to the whole group, or you can just reach out to me individually and I will help you as well. So, and then as usual, if you're watching this live or on replay, if there's anything, anything you may have missed or any experiences that you've personally had or, anything that that you want me to cover in a future video, definitely go ahead and post that. I definitely, look forward to any kind of communication that you have with me on that as well, and just any way that this can be useful to you and anything you might be interested in, I definitely encourage you to do that as well. So let me know how I can help you and what you're interested in. So until next week, have a beautiful and colorful day. Bye, everybody.